Greetings and welcome to a Monday edition of the Shotgun Start. It is March 31st. Andy, how we doing?
Brendan! I gotta say, I'm not doing that well because we keep missing these first of the month recordings, but it is Victory Monday for the podcast, the esteemed gambling podcast. We have a victory thanks to PJ's big pick of calling in Dr. Chipinski, Min-Woo Lee, the chef. Albeit, I don't know if I'm out on the Chipinski moniker after under the gun. He opted for putter on 17 and 18.
And 18.
Like when somebody gets canceled, they have to revoke the doctorate. It's
medical
taking
license.
Taking a long look.
They cut into the wrong organ, performed the wrong surgery. Medical license is lost. He's no longer Chipinski. They're letting him cook. He's doing that whole stuff. That meme is alive and well. But I think 2 lag putts from off the green, you lose your medical license. I don't even know if he's the doctor. I don't think we ever got to the bottom of that. But you called it, PJ. Take a lap. Take a victory lap. Wave to the crowd. Good bet. This is why we call it the foremost betting podcast.
That's right.
I'm very, very happy. I don't know if necessarily, maybe leaking oil a little bit coming in today. I don't know if we could definitively say, is he a better outdoor golfer than screen golfer after today? But happy we landed the plane. Got it in the house.
Where were you when he hit it miles right off the was it 16, right? 16.
Yeah, I was
the line of entry was at the tee box.
Laying on the couch, and I just screamed, "Oh my God, he's going to lose."
What was your near win earlier in the year?
Pocket.
Yeah,
you had to be feeling similar vibes coming down the stretch.
I liked the only other tournament I've done well in. Sepp just running away with the Amex by like 5 shots. That was pretty stress free. These last 2 have not been fun, but.
Well, you have a big duty coming up at a very important golf tournament where you'll be putting these gambling skills to the test, I think. So you're on a hot streak. We want to roll in hot.
Yeah.
Healthy and hot.
Rolling in hot, but
right.
Still, don't want to embarrass this esteemed premier gambling podcast.
That's true. I mean, we've laid a lot of groundwork, with the Brendan Todd calls and the Sabo and all these things, and you're here and you're just building on the legacy.
What about the Toasty calls? Now Toasty's mainstream.
Too mainstream. I'm out. I'm not out. I'll never be out. I'm just like. He's for the people now. He's the greater common good. I don't know. What do we want to add about Toasty? We were there early. We gave you our Toasty tales, and now
we can talk about it.
Steve Sands jamming them, Bones on him. Everybody, facts. They were riding them on the broadcast.
I gotta stop here. I gotta ask PJ. Has PJ gotten too mainstream? He's got Masters champion and lead commentator on CBS, Trevor Immelman, shouting him out online about his picks.
Two guys who appreciate the International President's Cup team, who are looking forward to Min-Woo Lee being a competitive golfer more often. I think we're in lockstep here, me and Trevor.
Well, Weirzy benched him for a whole day, right? Didn't he only play like one of first 4 sessions?
He did. He got benched for all of Friday. Yes.
Bagel boys out there. I mean, Bezadenhout and Pendy.
Pendy.
I mean, I was like, this is my real Toasty analysis. He kind of own goaled himself playing with 2 potential P Cup,
right?
P Cup partners or teammates, and he's apparently just stirring the pot. I mean, the last thing you don't want enemies. You don't want guys voting you down, and that last threesome was just an International President's Cup team dream between the Toastmaster, Foxy, great player. We love Foxy, and Min-Woo, the eventual winner. So they should all be at Medina, but Toasty's making enemies of potential teammates who are not going to stick up for him. It's not a good strategy, but I don't think that was top of mind probably for the Toastmaster.
So for those that missed it, Toasty. I don't think I think people did. There were these big basketball games on today. They're still on as we record. They haven't been very good basketball games.
Tennessee scored 10 points.
The number 1 seeds are just wagons. I mean, I watched Jay Billis tweeted out his bracket. It was all number 1s in the Final Four, and everybody was making fun of him. He was getting ratioed on Twitter. Who has the last laugh now? all number one seeds. But Toasty apparently got chuffed that Min Woo took a while to take a drop early in the round.
We losing Andy?
Am I there?
PJ, we got you. You're very foggy up there in Northern California. Yeah, you're back.
It's raining
now.
Here, you know.
Toasty.
So Toasty apparently got chuffed that Min Woo took a long time to take a drop. And
I think chuffed means happy and pleased.
Really?
Yeah. Chapped, maybe?
Chapped.
That's the British term, I think. Okay.
He was disgruntled. Right. He was disgruntled. Okay. He was not gruntled. He was disgruntled that Min Woo took so long to take a drop. Of course, Toasty was not playing very well, you know, at the time.
No.
Got off to a slow start today. Did not get out of the blocks well. And he got all mad that Min Woo took so long to take a drop.
Right.
So then he intentionally started to play slow.
He complained to the official too. There was a long chat with the official about how long they did spend 30 minutes on the hole, the par 5. I believe it was 8. And Dr. Chipinski was looking at chipping from his knees, and but then he took his unplayable, and it took a while. And Toasty took issue, called the rules official over for his own conference to bitch about it. Why is this taking so long? We need to play golf here. And they spent 30 minutes on the hole. So then he got lambasted by Twitter. The broadcaster says he's acting like a child. He starts playing really slow. I believe the quote from Bones as he was Bones was the walking reporter with the last group. I don't know what's going on, but Toasty is playing at his own pace. At times it's normal. At times it's glacially slow. But he's decided on this particular hole to really take his time, and he's holding up play.
He was like 150 yards behind Min Woo.
This is also, according to Bones, gave sort of a nebulous comment about how he did something disrespectful or rude to Foxy on the first tee.
I don't understand how you could have a problem with Ryan Fox.
He seems like the
nicest guy.
Yeah. I don't think I'd want to have a problem either. He's someone I wouldn't be interested in fighting. He's built. But I don't want anything with Foxy. He's a tough boy. But yeah, Toasty doesn't have time for anybody. So that was the report. And so this narrative was just hit throughout. Like, the Toasty runs a little hot. At one point, the word antics was used, and antics is just a loaded term. I believe Sands said he was up to antics. And when you go that route, you're just really kind of disparaging somebody. That's a loaded term. It means you're just doing Mickey Mouse stuff. And let's be honest, he's in the last group with a guy trying to win his first ever PGA Tour event. So it did become a little bit of a sideshow, but one that Shotgun Start listeners were well prepared for. And we got it on Sunday in Houston. He's got to keep going there. The way he performs, he should get a sponsor's exemption if he is ever, ineligible. He's just been a delight.
I think he should be on the P Cup team. They're seeing what he can bring to the team here.
I mean, what do you sit him until singles? Who's he playing with?
I think he'd be great in alternate shot too. Think about when he has more time to stew. He has more time to do some antics.
Well, his quote, imagine being his partner. His quote at the Players to us, a golf course rife with danger on all sides, usually, of the fairway. His quote at the Players was, if you can put 10 balls touching side by side, and there was enough room for that, he was hitting driver. So whatever that is, 2 feet, a foot, whatever it is, 10 balls, the width of 10 balls touching. Can you imagine being his partner? And he's just hitting driver every single hole? That seems like it could be an issue if you're trying to be a P Cup partner. But maybe it works if it's a 4-ball match and he's just sending it while you bunt one, to try and have holes. So that's your Toasty minute. Do you have anything else you want to add about him? Was the broadcast unfair? Were they being mean to Toasty?
Yeah, they were. Here's my issue. Steve Sands clearly punching down where he feels like he can. He's the softest announcer of golf. week in, week out. And then he gets one chance to punch down, and he punches down at Toasty. If this was anybody else, he wouldn't have done this.
I mean,
and I'm not trying to defend Toasty, but give us this a little bit more. That's all I'm asking for. I like this version of Steve Sant.
Yeah.
Can we maybe get this a little bit more, than every other week, maybe?
Tom Kim's doing it. Maybe we punch up. Is he up compared to Toasty? Or like, I don't know. There are other antics, if we want to use that term again, that are happening out there that we could call out with frequency. But Toasty got the narrative. We see this with Patrick Reed, sometimes earned, sometimes, the train just starts running and you can't control it. And the narrative and the media just has their hooks in you. And that's sort of what happened during the course of this 3 or 4 hour broadcast.
I'm working on getting some intel from inside the ropes of that group, and I received one comment. He's an interesting dude. Period.
That's like a very milk toast statement that says a lot. Trying to throw a blanket over a lot of potential avenues that you could go with that one. Interesting dude is it.
Also, another comment. He's had more caddies than I've had hot dinners.
We know that to be the case. Yeah, I felt bad for his caddy today. It was just got a lot of airtime.
Guy caddying today was not the same guy from the Players.
No.
So we've already changed in the last 2 weeks.
He was always like running to catch up with them, or just like he's getting the camera shot where he's talking to the official, just trying to figure out why he's there and what he's supposed to be doing.
Can we start to call Memorial Park Toasty's Alley?
Yes. They should put a statue up. We're that close. Like the Hogan statue at Riviera.
Who do you think's better? Who do you think Memorial Park suits more? Scheffler or Toasty?
I mean, in equal amounts. Feels like Toasty, probably a little bit. Memorial Park, you get a little wild, right?
Especially this week.
Yeah,
so many people were saying it's inconsequential off the tee this week. Everywhere is inconsequential off the tee. I think really since they put the rye in, it's become a lot less consequential off the tee. They're trying to mimic Augusta setup.
Yeah.
When they had the Bermuda, this event, I think this event in terms of how the golf course plays is better in the fall, but it's a better event in the spring, if that makes sense. Because you get great players like you had this week, and I mean the greens are awesome there. They're so cool. If you're wondering like why it's such a great place to warm up for Augusta, just look at the shots these guys hit around the greens. Like Scottie's pitch shot on 18, that they had that huge false front, and they did a great job showing the scale of it on the camera. That's like the shot you might see on the first hole at Augusta National. If you hit a little squirrely drive and you have to chip to the front, you're going to see a shot so similar to that off the same type of turf, up over a front, and with the back slope coming kind of down like that. It's fun to watch this tournament. I love watching this tournament. The greens are so cool. I know it's a little wild off the tee. Like you can get away with it a little bit, especially with how soft it was. But the greens are so neat.
I thought the short par 4 one on the pin 13, that was a little nifty. That front pin, kind of interesting. You can push it up there, but then it's going to be very hard to get on the green. And then when you're not, it could be a little tricky chip. I think Rory had to deal with that kind of chip. So yeah, cool greens. The off the tee point, our winner, the chef, cooking, he lost strokes off the tee for the week, barely, by like 0.03. Lost a lot today, I assume mostly from the ball that went in the water at 16, where I think there were only 2 water balls all day there. So he lost 2 shots off the tee today, was in the negative by a smidge for the week, but wins by 1 over Gary Woodland and Scottie Scheffler. I think our little fun and games lately about is he a better screen golfer? Like this isn't Minwoo's done some shit. Like he's not a guy. that you're just trying to jam for never winning on the PGA Tour. One of these guys who's just like just can't get it done in the States or on the PGA Tour. He's still whatever he is, 25 or something, 26. He's won the Aberdeen Scottish Open. They've added vowels. They re-added the vowels to Aberdeen. I did know
no way.
Market.
They did?
Yeah, it was a recent announcement.
God, think about how much money they spent to just take away the vowels.
Brand consultant. Aberdeen is now Aberdeen again. Scottish Open. He's won that. He's won it in Victoria, the Vic Open, Australian PGA. Like, he's done some stuff. It's not like, and he's 26. So this wasn't a guy who was just, I don't know. I think because of the players, couple cups of coffee at the top of the players and immediate plummets that we've seen in the last 5 years. And let's be honest, a lot of memes, a lot of brand notoriety, whether it's Chef or Chipinski or TikTok or whatever it is going on. The
influencers love him.
They do. He's got speed, all this.
I think the thing that this podcast usually resists against is once the influencers get their hooks into people and then they beat them to death. They just kill anything cool about them. That's where we usually resist. I think what's neat about Minwoo's win was like he had to overcome. It's like the perfect example of winning being extraordinarily hard. Because after like the 13th, the short par 4, you're like, okay, he's up 4. This is over. Like, it's felt like it got close. He's going to vanquish his demons. And then you just like see the things that like what caused him problems. Why hasn't he won very much? Well, the driver could get a little wild. 16, just blast into the water. One place on that hole, you can't hit it. The one place. The only way he could have made that interesting coming down the stretch was doing that on 16.
Par 5,
so he just blasted in the water there, stroking distance effectively because he never crossed land. And then, coming down the stretch, like not the greatest iron player, not the best at taking speed off. 18, he has a wedge in his hand. He hits it over the green.
Touch them all.
It was a rocky way in, but like winning on the PGA Tour is extremely hard. And I think like a lot of times we take that for granted, and he got it done, albeit it was wobbly coming in. And it's nice to see. It's nice to see a player that has a lot of appeal actually get in the winner's circle. He could, And this podcast does count European Tour wins, unlike Paul Azinger.
I wish we had Zaner on the call today. He's just like, that guy's never done anything. This is the big leagues. You could see that pressure. He's trying to actually win. Like he's never won anything before. Tommy Fleetwood, might as well be a minor league player at this point in Zaner's world. It was good. It was good to see, even though it was a struggle. It felt like Scottie was there for him, but those last 2 holes, you have to strike it. Those aren't necessarily easy birdies, and Scottie couldn't get it within enough range. The 17, everybody was leaving it short there. Happy to see. I thought the broadcast overplayed it a little bit. I know you will agree with me on that. Good to see Bo Martin, caddy. We were having a pint.
Last time we saw him, we were having pints in Northern Ireland, right about this time.
Yeah, about this time last year, we were having a pint with him in Art Glass. Whatever that pub, real
the
pub.
Arms.
What was the name?
Arms, right?
Okay. That was a great pub.
Oh, that was a great pub.
And great guy. He was a great guy. But
that's where we were told it's the best Guinness in all the world.
That was the first of about 27 different times we were told the place in Northern Ireland was serving us the best Guinness. But yeah, he was awesome there. The broadcast though was like, Minwoo might as well have just been throwing himself in the lake without Bo Martin. They really played it into the cat, and he was a good caddy. Again, he was very steady. They did the pain on his face when that ball in 16. They did like a close up and he like looked like someone had just punched him in the stomach over and over again. But it was good to see him out there. I'll say this. the players comes, you have a signature, all these signature events and the players, and you just expect to take your foot off the gas and go to the Masters, and we'll see you there. The last 2 weeks have been exceptional non-signature events. I don't know, you can't dial it up on demand, but Hovland JT at Valspar, Scottie and Min Woo, and a little bit of Rory today.
What about G-Dub? What about
I got him in the notes. We're definitely getting
big Sami Valimaki.
I've got Valimaki in the notes.
Rumbling in. You're burying the leads here. No. Toasty and his antics. It was a great day.
It was a great 2 in a row. Really great non-signature when you just expect to take a breather after the players. Some weeks stink. The tour has been pretty good. It's been a good run here. I thought the crowd was really good. It's a major metropolitan area. They had I don't want to shout out the grandstand construction, but it just looked like a fun scene. And then you had Scottie and G-Dub and those guys adding a little element as this guy really tried to get his first win. So I thought it was an exceptional non-signature event for the second straight week. How about Rory? Cut sweat into a top 5, got really hot. We're now on elbow watch. As soon as he threw that out, oh man, we're going to have a lot of elbow watch content here for the next 10 days. First question.
He threw it out there like it's not a big problem. I just have to get some treatment.
He did. It's like he scraped his elbow. He needs a Band-Aid, I think. But the gambling community, that's not how that rolls, man. You got elbow watch for the next 10 days. And we'll get that at Augusta. Great weekend for him after not Sami Valimaki type weekend, but a great weekend for Rory after a little bit of a cut sweat on Friday.
The driver has been an issue a little bit by his standards. It sounds like he figured something out today. He said he turned. Yeah. It was interesting to hear that.
Yeah.
He was second in strokes gained off the tee today, 8th for the tournament. So gives you an idea. He picked up. He would have been middle of the pack if it wasn't for today, with strokes gained off the tee.
Yep. So had a good day. And then let's get to the course record, boys. Gary Woodland and Sami Valimaki shoot 62 on Sunday.
Scott too.
Did he finish 60? Did he get?
He shot 62 on Friday.
Oh, okay.
Live clean in place though.
There you go. The first 3 days were preferred lies. They were worried about not doing that today. There was some concern.
What I appreciated? Really appreciated. So on his approach on 18, you know how he came up really short?
Yes. Right after you tweeted about the angled false front, I thought you were very prescient about that green, and then we saw it green hit Scottie. Yeah.
It's just a really cool hole location in green.
Yep.
But he hits it, and then they show the slow-mo. And I think it was Sands was trying to suggest that there are the little tiny sprinkles of mud. They're tiny trace amounts of mud
chip?
On his approach might have he was like, there was mud on the ball, and Kisner just did not even acknowledge the comment. He just went right past it. It was such a small amount of mud, and it was in a location that it's you're hitting a ball, and it's going to start spinning. The mud's going to come right off.
Yep. So he shot a 62 on Friday and lived clean in place. But Woodland and Valimaki get to 62 on Sunday. Have you watched? We haven't talked about this. Have you watched Full Swing at all this year?
Do you want my earnest answer?
Yeah, it's a real question. We don't bullshit on this podcast.
I fell asleep during episode 1 and haven't turned it back on.
It's totally fine. I don't want to. I'm not here to neither hammer nor praise. The season hasn't been I don't know. I'm midway through it. Still, it's kind of off and on. I'm halfway through the Gary Woodland episode, and that's the most resonant and powerful episode. And I think it's a good idea to try and make an episode with him, or a portion of an episode with him, because I don't think we knew all the specifics and details about the lesion on his brain, how it controlled that controls fear and anxiety, and how he was just feeling anxious and crazy, had these crazy fears popping into his head, and what all he was going through prior to the surgery, then post surgery, how he's just not himself at all. It's a powerful episode. in full swing. And now we get to today with that context. And he hasn't played great. He hasn't played well, really, since that surgery last year and this year. And he shoots 62. Just really fun to see him. I guess his kids,
the crowd was so into him.
His kids are on spring break, so they were there. They were supposed to maybe go back, and they stayed today. So that's super cool. They're rarely out on the road with them. And it was awesome, especially that shot on 18 when he club twirled it from the trees, and you're like, oh, where's this going? And he figured it'd be good, and it was. It was just cool way to see.
Hey,
finish.
All right, BP. I gotta ask you this. You're a man with lots of children. Uh-huh. Where would Houston fall on your spring break power rankings?
I mean,
more importantly, where would it fall for your wife?
Not high.
I love the city of Houston, by the way. Yeah, I've got some friends there.
Yeah. Galveston, the dirty water in Galveston, as Chuck said. It wouldn't be high, but it would be higher than where I actually am going for my kids' spring break.
Where?
Disney World.
Oh boy.
Not excited.
I think we're going Disneyland this summer.
Paying through the nose to just stand in line for our spring break. But yeah,
are you guys are you paying up for the
We are in deliberation. I mean, with 6 people paying up, it gets very expensive, Andy. It gets to be all of a sudden you're dropping thousands and thousands of dollars for tickets for admission.
This is bullshit. This is bullshit. The whole thing, being able to pay to skip the line, waiting in line is an important character building moment for a child.
Oh, that's fine, but not for me. I don't do that anymore. I'm just 90 seconds of thrill ride or whatever it is.
I remember waiting hours to ride on the Batman at Six Flags Chicago.
Okay.
Hours as a kid.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I think it's like $700 or $800 an hour to get the Sherpa.
What?
And you have to do it for like 10 hours. So you're talking about like $5,000 or something for the day. Or you can do Lightning Lane Premier passes, I believe is going to be around like $460 per person. Or
you just wait in line.
That's on top of whatever the park tickets cost, which I don't even know about yet. I don't know what. So yeah, that's our Houston. I would love to go to Houston for spring break, but we're doing Masters and then Disney World back
after.
So, yes, consecutively.
I feel awful. I think we might need to throw a line into Augusta National, have them reschedule their tournament because 2 years in a row has fallen on my daughter's spring break.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're just gone and she's home solo with your wife for all hours of the day?
Yes.
Can you help us out?
Got some grandparent support coming in this week.
Okay. That's good.
But it's a disaster. The other thing we've got going on here, did I talk about this before? There's a ski week and a spring break.
I don't know if you talked about it on the pod, but you have with us. Yeah.
It's total bullshit. It's complete. It's ridiculous. Who can take 2 weeks off in the first quarter of the year? Yeah. There's 2. They have a week off twice. Then there's like President's Day. There's like, they're just basically never in school ever.
There are no more 5 full day weeks at schools. There are none. There are fewer of those than there are 4, 4.5, 3.
My daughter's going to kindergarten next year. They're like, on Wednesdays, dismissal's 1 p.m. It's like, what?
Just Wednesdays? Yeah.
Wednesday?
Yeah.
It's the middle of the week. It's like the most important day of the week. 1 p.m. dismissal. Oh, that's great. Thank you. Thank you for that.
So anyways, Gary Woodland had his kids in Houston. Little digression on Disney World and spring break dates, but shout out to Gary Woodland. It's a powerful story. Really happy to see him shoot a 62. He was asked like Is this as good as you felt since? He goes, well, like the 2019 US Open. It's been a while, but I had it all today. I was really feeling it. Haven't had control of the ball like that in a long time, which, I mean, that was 6 years ago now, or almost 6 years ago. So really happy to see him. And the other big boy, Sami Valimaki. I mean, a real unit. I looked it up, 6'2", 233 in the program. That is a very generous listing. Usually they go reverse and inflate it for basketball and football. That may be not what's happening here. But I did love his homage and tribute to the big boys everywhere with the little shirt tail hanging out the back. We've all battled that at one point or another, all the big boys with the shirt tail just kind of can't stay in the back. And he's just a real fitting tribute to the big boys everywhere. While going 64-62 on the weekend. Got to be a Ryder Cup possibility. We need to keep Valimaki. We need more Scandinavian elements there to go with Ludwig and Victor. We need to bring a Finn into the situation. So keep Valimaki on the radar.
Listen, that could be a multi-Olympic athlete family because of his is it a brother or cousin who's the NHL player?
Oh,
did you know this?
Yeah, you might have mentioned it, and I went one ear and out the other.
Yeah, his I think it's his brother is like a legit hockey player. He's another he's a big boy.
That's the thing.
His name's Juso. It's his cousin.
Okay.
He's a big boy.
Was he on the Four Nations? I think because I kept Googling Valimaki to get his height and weight, and there's a hockey player kept coming up.
I'm gonna pull up some Juso Valimaki
stats.
Valimaki stats here.
Okay. All right.
He's let's see here. He's played he's on the Utah Hockey Club right now.
Okay.
I wish that you could just tell me what was going on. Let's see. I don't know. He's a big boy, 6'2", 205.
All right. Well, if you're a world-class athlete and you need your protein, you're a big boy, like the Valimaki cousins, we got a great place to go. You go to Maui Nui venison.com/SGS. That's Maui, like the island in Hawaii, because that's where this is coming from. Nui, Nui, Maui Nui venison, as in the word for deer.com/SGS. It offers you only 100% wild harvested meat. It's completely stress-free and responsibly sourced. It's perfect for anyone looking to elevate their meals with delicious, high-quality protein. This is like the best red meat in the world, best protein, some of the best protein in the world. It's MauiNuiVenison.com/SGS. The Shotgun Start listeners, you get a limited collection of our favorite cuts and products. You've been big into the sticks. I may be bringing some to our Dratty house. All right, I'll bring you some to the Dratty house. You've been ripping
rip through them. You know, they're perfect for the mid week, like the midday snacks. You know, gets you to lunch, gets you to dinner. A little protein influx. No crap in it.
Yep, 10 grams of protein at just 55 calories. It's in the Axis deer population in Maui. Let's just overrun the mountain there. So they're solving a critical environmental problem because you get the runoff. They're eating all the plants, and now it's just running off into the water down the side of the mountain. So they're invasive to Maui, and they go out and they harvest them. And now they got a mobile processing unit, so it's fresh as can be. It's grilling season now. It's up in the 80s, so I've got the ground chuck and some of the cuts and the chops. So I'm going to start getting those going beyond the sticks with the grill up and running. So go to Maui Nui Venison. If you're a Valimaki or anyone else, you go to MauiNuiVenison.com/SGS. Maybe I got word that Oars and Alps we were connecting Oars and Alps with the tank for Chrome Dome spray. And maybe we could do the same with Maui Nui Venison for the Valimaki boys and their protein needs. I think maybe we can get these. I don't know. We're not agents. We don't need a cut. We don't even need a middleman fee, but let's just do it. Let's make partners, matchmakers everywhere. So MauiNuiVenison.com.
I feel like there's a natural chef Min Woo, Maui Nui. He could show how you make the ground venison meals delicious.
Sure.
He could make some recipes up.
You just let him cook. Let him cook, as they kept yelling. So he's got strong branding with the chef. Anything else on Houston you want to get off, Andy? Great event. Good crowds. I was very happy with the non-signature event.
I have a Juuso Valimaki update in case anybody's wondering.
All right.
Was named to the Four Nations Finland team. Was a healthy scratch in all 3 games. Then the next week got cut by the Utah Hockey Club, waived, sent down to the AHL, where he promptly tore his ACL and is out for
the year. Not a good not a good run for you. So.
Yeah, no wonder Andy was having trouble finding updated stats and information. That is awful. We got to get him some venison to get on as he gets on the men. We got to get used to venison.
Well, we don't want to send him too much venison.
It's clean red meat, clean protein.
This is the best stuff that you could veg out on the couch with.
Yeah. All right. Anything else from Houston, Andy, that you want to, any odds and ends notes before we move on to the Hero Indian Open and Eugenio Chacarra, his win over at DLF? Anything you want to add?
About DLF?
No, about Houston. Any other odds and ends?
Yes, I do have one that I wanted. I wanted to ask you guys, have you guys seen the LA golf commercial?
No, I mean,
with Bryson and TJ. Bryson and TJ in it. Oh my God, it's so good. It's in the DLF category. It's such a bad commercial. It's good.
What do they do? Why?
I mean,
I just have to watch it?
You have to watch it. It's incredible. Okay. There's just like a lot of Bryson acting in it, which like isn't going to go well.
Sure.
They go to DJ. You know, they're basically doing like a tour of their office, and Bryson and DJ are in it. And they go to DJ, and he's flipping burgers out back. It's like, of course, he's not doing anything golf related.
Not getting dialed in. Speaking of Bryson DJ, go ahead.
There's a moment in the commercial where Bryson's like curled up on this tiny little air mattress. It's great. It's a great commercial. I'm disappointed.
He's sleeping in the simulator on the tiny. Yes, I have seen that one. I memory hold it until literally you said Bryson is sleeping on an air mattress. Now I know exactly what you're talking about.
I haven't seen it.
That was a delight.
So bad it's good. All right.
Like I'm thoroughly looking forward to the next time I get to watch it through. I almost rewinded it when I was doing a little late night watching to rewatch. How about Michael Kim getting in top 50?
That's true.
On the number.
It looks like it. Nosferatu is even punting like, I think he's in, but let's please wait. Given the stakes, let's wait till they actually come out tomorrow. But yeah, it looks like he's getting in. Ben Griffin coming up just short. But Michael Kim looks like he's going to Augusta. Good hot run for Mike Kim. Griffin can obviously win next week and get in if he wants.
Mateo Massaro made the cut. He played the weekend. That's big for you.
That's true.
That's it. That's all I got.
A little scuttlebutt as you're talking about Bryson and DJ. From inside the moat. A lot of anxiety. Not a lot. Some anxiety this week. Liv Golf is on the big network Fox on Friday, I believe, and Sunday. And there's some real anxiety about what ratings if they could outrate Valero. And Trump is going. I don't know what day he's going to Dural, but apparently there's some they're a little skittish at the tour about the potential to be outrated. I don't know. Maybe it's a blowout. I have no idea. But they are on Fox, I believe, in Miami, Eastern time zone. Network TV. So yeah, there's a little bit of that going on. Is that, who knows?
Well,
change. So
I wouldn't be too worried.
Background. All right, let's go to Hero Indian Open, the event of the week. Eugenio Chacarra, a man without a home, a man who kind of trashed to live in the fireballs on his way out, getting in on some sort of exemption. I don't know what he got, a sponsor's exemption. Now a member, wins the Hero Indian Open. We got word early in the week of him ruffling some feathers. His reputation sort of precedes itself as being a little grumpy. I think that was the case at Oklahoma State. Clearly didn't vibe with the fireballs real well either. He was ruffling feathers out there on Thursday. There he was then, 4 days later, and he's winning. I got so many messages from DLF. People, throwing clubs into the canyon and caddies trying to rescue them. And then, guys almost buzzing the tower as they climb up out of the canyon, a bunch of 10s, guys walking off, hitting rocks, all sorts of stuff. And I did get one from a caddy who's been there a lot. Says, it's hell. It's absolute hell. And, the cut was +6 and it's windy and it's firm and fast. But like, if you just drive it straight, it's driver wedge the entire way around. It's like driver wedge, driver wedge, driver wedge. And
of course, why the Battleship's done so well there. He's a precision player.
Like the good players, the guy said Nakajima is like so far. It's like the field stinks. Nakajima is so far away, like probably the best player in the field. You have like Larotheball and Appy Barnred were good players once, and they're probably a second or third in the field. And then you got the young stud in Chacarra who just kept it between the rocks and the grass. And
Juice Luton coming in third is like a perfect example.
Yeah.
He's not going to big ballparks and contending.
Yep. So Chacarra wins. He's now a member, I believe, of the DP World Tour. Hit his fairways. He says it means everything. I decided I was an amateur to go to the other side of golf and live. And coming out of that, I didn't know where I was going to play, but I stayed patient. And now he can be a member. Some questions, Andy, about anchoring. There was close-up video and then a lot of tweets about him anchoring Chacarra.
Well, the good news is our governing bodies, have put a silly little word called intent.
Intent, yeah.
Into it. So, this is an unenforceable rule, which is a real bummer. Because
you don't think they can get inside his head there? Claim he touched his chest on purpose.
Well, it's a potty. All he has to say is, I didn't mean to.
Yeah. I mean, from the video, it does appear to be clearly touching a shirt, right? It
does. It could be a baggy shirt, though.
Yeah.
Like, where's that,
Right.
And this is like the tricky part. It should have just been the putter has to be the shortest club in your bag or something, or not. Putter can't be longer than your 7-iron. Would have been a great rule.
Yep. Champions Tour, PJ. You got it? Or do you want more DLF? What else you got, Andy?
How about Chacarra wearing the Golf Saudi hat and just lighting Liv on fire every time he gets a chance to?
He was in an Okie State shirt, like he was playing, the Azalea.
Think we could get in there? Get in there, get him a shotgun start deal.
We could.
You think he's out of our price range? Probably.
Although it doesn't seem like he has a lot of friendly confidants right now. But maybe we should
reach out to the Battleship and see what it costs to get on that.
I think we should. Should we just assemble like a team of bad boys? Like try to get in with Toasty, Chacarra.
I think Toasty's too expensive.
He's probably offended at like Lululemon selling $200 joggers. That's probably why he was pissed off at Minwoo. Yeah, Chacarra, he had the Golf Saudi hat. Still an interesting dichotomy there after he torched Liv. Champs Tour, PJ, what happened there at the Galleri Classic? Well, there was an individual by the name of Steve Allan, two first names, the double Tyler Dennis deal. Steve Allan was winning. Did he win?
He won his first win on any tour in like 20 years. He got in as an alternate after Steve Stricker withdrew, so he wasn't even in the original field. So it was a very big, held off Algerboy. Algerboy was coming. Miguel Angel Jimenez, who is just a machine at this point, was also involved.
Tag Writings, second place.
Tag Writings won the Monday qualifier. Yeah.
Tag Writings.
He won the Monday qualifier. So Steve Allan this year so far had a T31 at the Chubb Classic, a T44 at the Cologuard, a T25 at the Hoag last week. and now wins.
Hoag.
Hogue? Whatever. What do we call it?
How did you make that 2 syllables?
I don't know, man. We're on to next week. Next week is my Super Bowl. Is the Pro Football Hall of Fame Pro-Am on the Champions Tour in Boca. So I'm gonna have a big breakdown coming for Tuesday. But one other note from this week, the Galleri, according to Papa, who again is not on site, so they were doing it from PGA Tour Studios, has the best candy spread in player dining. There was a whole 3-minute just aside that it was the best candy spread, but because they love Papa so much, they mailed some to PGA Tour Studios so he wouldn't be left out.
The Global Home. He had his own setup at the Global Home Tour
sad.
Studios.
Sad that Papa's stuck there.
Yeah. Stuck in an office building. Can't get out.
God, you think about
no zinger this week either. So
why?
I don't know. He wasn't there today. Okay. That's all I got.
He probably had a fishing trip or something scheduled. You think about when the Dick Open's going to be in upstate New York, in the middle of summer, and Papa's going to be flying down to Ponte Vedra.
I looked up the Dick Open the other night. Maroon 5, big concert Friday night. Yeah.
What?
Maroon 5 is the Dick Open pre-tournament concert.
That's
Friday night.
Demo?
Yeah.
Champs Tour?
Well, so I was with my friend who came to Mumford with me is from Syracuse. So he goes to the Dick Open every year, and he's like, oh, I've seen a lot of good acts up there. And it's usually country people. So I took it upon myself to look it up. Maroon 5 Friday night at the Dick Open. And enjoy.
We may need to send you. We may need to send you. You didn't get that trip to DLF, but maybe you go drive up to the Dick Open.
PJ, I'm a little disappointed in our off-season plan. Thought we were going to go down to Jason Karen. T7 this week. He's dominating.
I have something on that. I have Jason Karen's in the works. I won't divulge it. I won't divulge it all. But Jason Karen's in the works.
Are you going to go to Mill River?
I think I might.
Love that.
That's where the club that started the whole Mill River discount plan. You could get a little history on the Mill River discount program at country clubs.
There we go. Bring it to the people. Jason Karen and the discount program.
Do you hear? But you know what that is, right?
Yes, you explained it to me when I went into detail about, oh my God, this guy's from Long Island. You went, hey, wait a second. That's where the Mill River discount's from.
When are we getting our Champs Tour fantasy up and running?
Major season
again,
maybe.
another rumor that I heard we might have something cooking up for a Champs Tour major. Don't have all the details yet.
Love that.
But.
Can we get can you get PJ's props on one of the OBOs, the official betting operators as they're known at the tour? PJ prop section for Champs Tour.
I love doing a major, but I think the grind of Champs
That's true.
It's in the week to week grind, trying to find 25 guys that you're going to pick.
That's true.
It's true.
Everybody knows Steve Stricker, Patty Harrington, but you got to go in your bag and pick tag writing some weeks.
Somebody's got to take Joe Durant. Joe Durant's got to get picked.
I mean, if you're leadership of the Champs Tour, Miller Brady or Brady Miller, I can't remember. I think that's his name. You got Steve Allan, the alternate, that has never won on any tour.
I believe he did. I believe he has one on some Australian tour, but it's been over 20 years.
He's not putting butts in the seats, but
Tag Ridingtons though.
Yeah, Tag.
You see Tag Ridingtons on a leaderboard, you change the channel.
All right, the LPGA event, a Ford Championship out in Arizona is ongoing. You know where you can get caught up on that is Mixed Bag. They'll be recording on Monday. That's our women's golf podcast. They'll have a full debrief on the first stateside full field event, I think. The year. Andy, I just have a question. Maybe I'll send it to Mixed Bag, a mailbag for the Mixed Bag question. Is Lexi Thompson retired? She's now 2 for 2 playing U.S.-based field events. She played the Founders Cup, and now she's out at the Ford Championship in Arizona, and she's like T38. She went 66, 68, 69.
It's full-time retirement. How dare you? It's full-time.
What does that mean?
Nobody knows. But
she's
every time somebody asks, she tweets that it's full-time retirement.
There have been 3 events in the U.S. this year, one of which was the Tournament of Champions, which she wasn't because it's, a small field of winners only. And now she's played both events in the U.S. It's not a criticism. She could go play, but I thought she retired. And that we did the whole deal, the swan song. But yeah. All right. Check out the mixed bag for a full Ford Championship debrief. And while we're here, we'll get a quick Masters fact of the day. It's Anwa week.
Look at that. Open the book.
We're going to go quick David Owen again. We'll lean on David Owen. I got to get Bama Bearcat to send me a few more.
I'm going to start underlining. I'm working through that Samson book. I'll start underlining stuff. You know what I need?
Samson.
I wish there was a better, easier way to save stuff like other than the highlighter. I don't want to mark up a book.
I love marking up a book.
Should I get Samson the highlighter
book
out?
It doesn't come with the seal of approval as much as the Owen one. Yeah, so there. The Owen I think rips it to shreds. So he's like factually wrong.
We should get both of them on. Talk back and forth about what they think about each other's book.
Let's talk about on the LPGA. Anwa starting this week, women's event down at the Masters. There was once a big legal dispute when the LPGA decided to launch their own ladies' Masters. Now, this became an issue for Mr. Clifford Roberts, according to David Owen's book. They called it it was sponsored by Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance. Wanted to sponsor an event called the Ladies' Masters by the LPGA to be held in Hilton Head at something called the Moss Creek Plantation, which Northwestern Mutual had a large financial stake in, believe it or not, but they wanted to call it the Ladies' Masters. Now, this just offended Clifford Roberts to no end. He's like, there's a lot of tournaments all around the world called the Masters. We're fine with that one. But in the United States, we would like to protect what we've built with what, trademark and brand and connotation of the Masters. And this is a stateside one. And he suggested that Northwestern Mutual's main interest appeared to be not in golf, but in real estate, selling at this Moss Creek Plantation around Hilton Head. So he said, you know what? We're not going to let this one slide. We're going to the mattresses, brought in his attorneys, said, when it comes to the United States, we would greatly prefer that this is the only tournament which is called the Masters. And he asked the LPGA to find a different name. So they complied in 1976. In the first one, it was formerly known as the Women's International. But tournament organizers, LPGA personnel, sports writers, and players used the Masters name unofficially. NBC had been very interested in broadcasting a Masters tournament for women. It was considerably less interested in broadcasting an anonymous LPGA event in a real estate subdivision. So Northwestern Mutual approached Augusta about licensing the Masters name or a version that the club could live with, something like the Moss Creek Ladies Masters. And they sought to register Ladies Masters as a trademark. They were going to proceed, and so Augusta National sued. According to Owen, on trial was in effect the work of Clifford Roberts' entire life, building the Masters brand. They would eventually go on to win this lawsuit, with Roberts being a very compelling witness. And Cliff just was getting cross-examined, took Northwestern Mutual's attorneys to task. It said that on the stand, he told the attorney he'd asked a damn dumb question, and I don't answer dumb questions. And that was it. And the case was over. The judge's opinion came back fully fledged, unequivocal in favor of Augusta National. And I think they made him pay legal costs for Augusta. Northwestern Mutual had to reimburse Augusta National for its legal costs. So that was the one attempt at a ladies' Masters on the LPGA in the mid-'70s. With Northwestern Mutual owning a significant part of the real estate development.
That's probably why my wage was so shitty in my college internship with them.
That is your Masters.
Still paying those legal fees to the Masters.
That is your Masters fact of the day. Here we are now, some 50 years later. They have their own Augusta National Women's Amateur, deepest field it's ever had. LPGA is at the Ford Championship. Check out Mixed Bag for discussion on all that. I don't have any real news. Angel Cabrera's back, giving quotes about all he's learned. I don't have anything else, though. See, Nance is at Houston. the Houston game last night or today, Houston, Tennessee. So he's getting warmed up, ready to get him down at Augusta. So that's it for news. Oh, one other thing. You see these torpedo bats the Yankees are using? PJ, do you have a comment on this?
Yeah.
What's the golf equivalent? Is this like a Sasquatch? Like they're belting the ball.
Well,
are they going to ban them?
It's slowly coming out that not just the Yankees have been using them. Apparently, they've just figured out how to use them first. A couple guys have been using them throughout the early seasons. Cody Bellinger said the Cubs were hitting with them in batting practice last year, but they didn't feel comfortable using them at games. This is all from the mind of some MIT, legitimate genius who is running the Yankees' new analytics department, who just decided to have the grand old idea of what if we just put more wood where they hit the ball instead of where they don't hit the ball. So I don't know. It's clearly working for the Yankees, hitting a home run every inning. It's not illegal yet.
Yeah. I thought it was shocking. It's weird to look at, obviously. I'm just wondering if there's a golf equivalent to the torpedo.
Whatever Bryson's doing with his rounded faces or whatever. I don't know.
They're gonna ban it.
Seems like it.
They're gonna show golf what real rules and regulations are.
Yeah.
Protecting a game in stadiums.
Oh, all right. I think that does it. We said this was going to be 30 minutes when we started. Was not, but we had to talk about spring break plans and other odds and ends. We will be back Wednesday. The Masters quickly approaches. We can't wait. You want to get in there?
We'll talk Wednesday more about Rory's elbow.
Elbow watch.
Elbow watch.
All right. Talk to you then.
Rory's elbow and Scottie's beard. We'll talk Wednesday.
Talk to you then.